we're going to test it. We're going to put the metal to the test. That's not a phrase. I just made that up.
Test our metal, sure.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Do I sound all right?
Yeah, you sound great.
Great, cool.
As good as ever. Yeah, that stupid gain thing fixed everybody's problems. They changed something. I don't know what they changed, but now at least I know. It's like I can deal with it.
Yeah, that's great.
Came up yesterday pre-show with the word on the street thing. We had the guest we had his set like yours was, and I said flip that, and sure enough, he was perfect the whole time. And prior to this, that would have been shitty because it used to be if you would go ha like that, it would then make you really quiet and slowly come back up. Time. Yeah. And now it doesn't do that anymore. So.
And heaven knows on this show, I do a lot of ha.
Yeah, we both do, right? We don't want to F that up.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. We're recording. Are we though? Yeah, we are. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
This is Brigadier General Francis X. Hummel, United States Marine Corps from Alcatraz. Out.
Like fish.
Whoops.
Like fish.
Like fish.
Like fish.
The morning stream. That's the bravest thing I've ever seen a vegetable do.
Oh man, that dance you're doing is it possible to get nauseous just watching someone dance? I don't know.
I look like I'm slowly fighting several punching bags all at once.
If you're only listening to the audio version of the show today, Brian and I are both dressed as if we want to dance like that at some bar or something. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's too bad you're not here live.
We're not quite Yacht Rock. We're more like Yawn Rock.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Hey, everybody, it's TMS. I don't know if you know this, but it's Wednesday, June 26th, and it's the year 2024. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ibbott, and he is home from Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome back.
I am. Hello. Thank you. It's good to be back.
Is it weird that the time you were gone is roughly the same amount of time that you would go for TMS Vegas, but the experience of not having to run anything while you're there is so freaking different? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the time
it absolutely
is.
I was telling Tina about that. It feels like I was there for a lot longer on this trip than I was for TMS Vegas. And even TMS Vegas, I think I'm there for one extra day. Like TMS Vegas, we arrived on Saturday.
Oh, right.
So full days were Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we left Thursday. So technically I was there for 4 full days and 2 half days. Yeah. On this trip, I was there for 3 full days and 2 half days or travel days or whatever.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was there for a longer time on this trip than I was because for TMS Vegas, I am constantly doing stuff. There's like, I get that Oculus from RevFry, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait. I'm totally gonna, in the hotel room, get some downtime and play a little bit of that. No, didn't have any downtime to play with the Oculus. So it's like, I had to wait till I got home to finally try it out because there's 0 downtime. However, on this trip, it was like, I probably would have had some time to play the Oculus had I brought it. And by the way, people asked, I did not take the Oculus with me. I just did iPad on the cycling machines and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's too bad because I was hoping for some reaction. I wanted some people to see it.
I know. Well, see, the problem is I wouldn't be able to see the reaction because I'd have the Oculus on my face, so I have no idea.
That's
but
true.
What I did really like, and I wish I could have taken a picture of it, but there was always somebody standing next to it or working out next to it, and it would have been really creepy to take a picture. But they've got, in the Harrah's fitness room, they've got all of these motivational sayings on the walls, like never give up, or you can do this, or stuff like that.
Wow,
right?
really deep stuff. You can do this and never give up. I love those.
I think those I'm definitely getting them wrong. They were way they were usually like almost a full sentence or something. I remember one of them, and it's the one that I'm going to tell you about.
Sure.
But it was some guys back who had just finished lifting or something, but he's like muscular and his trapezoids are looking or trapezoids? No, trapezoids a shape. What was the muscle called?
Trapezius? No.
Anyway, his traps.
Traps, yeah. They always call them traps, but I don't know what the short is. Is it trapezius? I guess it is.
Trapezius? Okay, traps. Anyway, like all freshly muscular, stretched out from lifting weights, and then above it, it said, when you think about quitting, and then the bottom half underneath it said, remember what inspired you to get started, or think about what made you get started.
Okay.
But between those two phrases is, please limit cardio time to 30 minutes on the machines. So what the phrase really says is, when you think about quitting, please limit your cardio time to 30 minutes on the machines.
That's great. I hope
And
your
I
inspiration.
wish I could have taken a picture of it, because it just cracked me up so much. But there was always somebody working out right next to it, and the last thing I want is to be like,
It's like break all your records, but do it within the time limit that we have set.
exactly. When you think about quitting, make sure it's 30 minutes.
That's amazing. Yeah, it would have been a great picture, but also, yeah, I'm with you on when you take pictures. Sometimes people are weird.
That would not have gone well. So
good man. I'm glad it all went well, and you're home, and we're back to sort of normal here on the morning show here.
Yep.
I got so my daughter had surgery. Nothing serious, just a voluntary thing she wanted to do. She's just getting her tubes tied, or whatever you call that.
Oh, okay, sure. Hysterectomy.
No, I think that's a full get your uterus out. So this is
okay. All right, this is tubes tied.
Tubal ligation. No,
tubal ligation. Is that it?
Something like that. I forget the name of it. Anyway, she went. Is that what it is, Kelly? Okay. They seems to be confirmed.
Tubal litigation.
Tubal litigation. She had to stand. Your Honor, I object. My tubes are great. Anyway, so she goes in yesterday, and we said, hey, we'll watch the kids. Bring the kids over. That's a burden while she's dealing with that. And Dylan had to take off work and is at the hospital with her. And so we're like, please let us watch the kids. So we had Van and Phoebe here all day yesterday, or most of the day yesterday, and then overnight, which is fine. Mm-hmm. But I got to tell you, I was a little nervous, because for dinner, they both said, we asked them what they wanted to have, and they both went, curry. They love curry. They're huge fans.
Awesome. Oh my God, that's great.
Kids love curry. I don't know what their deal is. They like it spicy too a little bit. At least the little one does.
Nice.
Van, not so much.
They don't know what spicy is, but okay, that's fine.
They really don't. But anyway, so we gave him curry, and all I could think of was, please don't overdo it. Please don't overdo it, because what I don't want tonight is like barfing kids in the middle of the night. You know what I mean?
Right. Especially the colors of curry, the red curry, the green curry.
Yeah,
kind of looks the same coming out as it did going in.
Yeah. Plus, we have Van on the couch it's all laid out with these nice blankets and everything. I'm thinking, I don't want to come clean that. So it's not. I was just being paranoid, because they're fine. They eat curry all the time.
Of course.
So instead of barfing all over the place, they were just disgusting after dinner. They were covered in curry. Just covered in it, dude.
Did you give them silverware? Did you just have them put their face in the bowls?
I do, and Van's pretty good, right? Holds his bowl with one hand, eats with the other. He's a lefty. Yeah. Aren't you a lefty? You're a lefty.
I'm a lefty as well. Yeah, Tina and I are both lefties.
Yeah, he's a lefty as well. So he's holding with one hand and eating just fine. He's 5. He can handle this. Phoebe, on the other hand, is independent enough to refuse to let anyone feed her. She won't do it.
Oh,
but
nice. Yeah.
And she's 18 months old. She wants to eat it herself. That's fine, but it means catastrophe. It just means food all over her, on the floor. The dogs are running around acting like it's the greatest day of their lives, because they get to eat it off the floor. And a couple of those dogs, I think that's why Rainer couldn't poo this morning. She got like curry in her system or something.
A little curry constipation.
Something going on. Yeah. Anyway, it was all great. Everyone's fine. And for everyone who asked how Taylor is doing, she's great, recovering nicely. She has bad reactions to morphine, as my wife does, and so she spent a lot of her night hurling. But normal for her, though. Morphine is just does not jive.
Go well with her. Yeah.
No, they don't like it. Or it's some modified new morphine-based something they give people for the pain. But
Morphinex.
Ask
your doctor if Morphinex is right for you.
Yeah, and I told her, I said, look, I'll go out to a street corner and get you some.
Some white china.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Little something out
China
there.
White. China White. I have it backwards.
Yeah. I can't get her the
White China, I think, is an Ultravox song.
Oh, is it?
I think it is.
My little white China girl. Wait a minute, that's not it.
No, nope.
So anyway, just thanks to everybody who's asking. She's doing great. It was this used to be a much more invasive thing back in the day, like 20 years, 30 years ago. Even they, you'd be down for a while and lots of stitches to heal and all that. Not anymore. It's all laparoscopic rather, and it was quick in and out. She was done. Although they made her wait forever and ever and ever because I guess this guy he was in the middle of a baby birthing that went south or. They had a hard time or something. The babies, I guess it all turned out okay. We know very little about it, but because of it, it delayed everything else he had planned for the day or scheduled by like 2.5 hours. So she's had to sit in that hospital room with that dumb gown on for almost 3 hours, just chilling. I'm like, you should have watched The Postman or something long,
If you had the time, yeah, might as well.
Anyway, she's all good now. So thanks everybody for your nice, kind words. She's young and vibrant and able to. Oh, they figured out. So she's been having these weird pains for a long time since Phoebe was born. But they've done CAT scans, all this stuff. They can't find out what was wrong, and they're like, we don't know what it is. But a lot of times when you do this tubal ligation, that'll take care of it. Like it's just phantom pains from a pregnancy or whatever. So you get that done. We'll see what happens. They get in there and they find a big old ass cyst in there.
Oh no!
Not cancerous or anything, just a cyst. And
just a cyst, yeah.
She gets him. So the doctor says, based on what he saw, she won't get him anymore because now the tubes are out. But what was happening is every time she'd drop an egg like a damn chicken, something would happen where a cyst would happen, and that was the pain every month she was having. It was so bad. So anyway, all's on the ups. Thumbs up.
Good.
Down to the straw house. Also, we got a quick audio call about sometimes people are not. This isn't even a call. This is just a clip I found. Some people are so clueless, and we don't always get audio proof of just how clueless they are.
Is this free hotel room talking about us?
No. Okay. But it is very. He is often very clueless.
No. I think he thinks that we're clueless.
I know, but it's usually him. I think is a little clueless. Whatever, Bob. You're fine. We like you. You're a great guy.
We love you, Bob. Yeah.
Here's this thing I found. It's small claims court, and they filmed this. I don't know what show this was on, but it's actual footage of an actual courtroom experience.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I edited a little bit of there's chunks of this where there was just long pauses because that's how it happens in court. The judge is writing something down or whatever. But this guy's explaining his case to this judge, and I still to this minute cannot believe this guy has this complaint. So I'll play it. And Brian, you can help me make a judgment call here. Here we go.
Sure.
Check it out.
You're suing to gain access to the defendant's Wi-Fi passcode?
That's right, Your Honor.
Please tell us what's going on with that.
Well, I've been living across the hallway from Jennifer for about 2 years now, and I've been happily using her internet signal without any problems. And up until recently, I come to find out there was a password put on it, and I went across the hall to ask Jennifer nicely several times for the password, but she keeps on refusing.
Okay. His entire case.
Horrible Jennifer.
His whole case is this thing where he's using somebody's free password or somebody's free Wi-Fi that was unprotected. Yeah. She locks it down.
Yeah.
He thinks he has so much right to it that he actually brought her to court and sued
files a suit against her. That's awesome. What was the claim? Like lost wages or punitive damages or something?
Not enough access to porn. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah. They didn't get that far in it, but this judge was. I've never seen a judge look more like out of his mind. Why are we even entertaining this thing? I mean, clearly they just threw it out. They got to the point where they just threw this thing out.
Yeah.
But who in there? I don't know who listening to that guy talk. He's like 62 or something. Uh-huh. I feel like I know somebody like this, and I cannot put my finger on it. I don't know who it is. I really can't even. I couldn't tell you, but I know I've met people like this, where they feel like they're entitled in ways that are so beyond the pale that I cannot get my head around this. Like, why would you think that somebody's? Why would you even go? The minute you saw there was a password after using it for so long, that's the day you went, well, that ends that.
Exactly. I guess my Free ride is over.
I
Jennifer.
just couldn't believe it.
Sound like you said. Actually, it sounded like the first time you said her name. It sounded like Jennifer.
Jennifer, yeah. It'd be great if it was Jennifer Lopez across the hall there.
Yes. Yeah.
But I would just be. I was beside myself watching this, and I just thought, if this person was a neighbor, I would find every possible way to block them from my life that I could.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Living across the hall. Sadly, you're gonna. Anytime they hear your door move, they're gonna run over and peek through their peephole. Maybe they'll peek through their peephole. Hey, Brian, you can take Brian out of Vegas.
That's what you do over there. They even call them pee holes over there. So.
They call them the pee holes. But he'll be looking through his peephole to see what you're doing. Coming in? Oh, coming out. What? Oh, she left the house at 10 p.m. Oh, I wonder what Jennifer's doing tonight. Oh,
yeah. And the fact that you would just argue like, well, I was getting it before. Now she should give it to me now. No, dude, get your own damn internet, you freaking weirdo.
Exactly.
I hate this.
What am I supposed to do? Call Xfinity now and get my own?
Like, I understand.
Your Honor, I implore you.
This guy was maybe really, I don't know. Let's say he had some severe mental disability or something.
Yeah, sure.
I understand expectations in that realm, but he doesn't strike me as somebody like, does he also expect his neighbors to pay his water bill or his electric bill or any of that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just seems like kind of open and shut. I guess the judge says, did you have any sort of agreement that she would provide you free internet in perpetuity? No?
Yeah,
okay. I guess we're done here. Thanks.
And I don't know, the chat suggested this. I don't know if this is possible, but maybe the court can charge the guy for wasting their freaking time and tax dollars.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like, what's the point? And I didn't see in the video, but I don't know if the girl had to be there to like defend herself or anything. Maybe it's just I don't know how this sort of level of court works. People's Court kind of confused me because I always thought it seemed really serious. But I think they were kind of, not joking around, but they were kind of just, not really giving us
exactly. This is not. They're not fighting Roe v. Wade here.
No. Yeah, but I mean, you can hear it almost. This man thinks his internet should be free. His neighbor says no.
The defendant. He believes that Jennifer should be providing him free internet. He's suing for $18.95 per month.
Yep, and then they'd have that loud typing noise.
Yep.
It's great.
Meet the plaintiff.
Yep.
Jennifer.
Doug Llewellyn, man, go look him up.
I know. Yeah.
Those were the days. All right. Well, there's that. Anything else about Vegas you wanted to mention? It's all sewn up and done.
It's all sewn up and done. It was a great trip. The center, the nucleus of the trip, the concert was fantastic, and the venue, Fontainebleau, absolutely gorgeous, as one would expect from a hotel resort that's only been open for about 6 or 7 months. It's just really, really nice. Really nice setup. So
I want to stay there. I want to get a room,
Yeah, well, apparently, according to the folks on 500 by Midnight, the original Las Vegas podcast, Tim and Michelle, hi there. I don't think they listen to this, but
no.
I'm a huge fan of their show.
They're still going, right? They've been going a long time.
They're still going. They started shortly around the same time that I did.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's great.
So they have callers who call in. I probably should call in myself to their show and just, I go by the name Pinata Massengill. Is a long story. I won't go into it. But
wait, Pinata Massengill?
Pinata Massengill, yeah.
I have a lot of questions.
All right, I'll tell the short version of the story.
Okay.
They were in a casino. They overheard a loudspeaker say, Pinata Massengill, please come to the front desk. Or at least what they think they heard was Pinata Massengill. And so the next time I called into the show, I said, hi, this is Pinata Massengill. I mean, Brian Ibbott. And then I told him I gave him a trip report. And so from now on, I just call in as Pinata Massengill.
So Massengill as in like the brand of
the
like...
douche.
The douche.
The douche.
The douche.
The douche.
All right, the douche. Got it.
The douche.
The douche.
As Jack Black would say, the douche.
The douche. Wrapped up like a douche in the middle of the night or whatever.
Anyway, so they have people who call in. And according to one of their callers... basically, you walk into the Fontainebleau, you sign up for a player's card, you walk around a little bit, you fart, and they're going to start sending you hotel offers right then. That's all it takes. That's really all it takes.
Because they want you. They need you.
They want exactly.
They're a 5-star.
So I did. I laid some over by the the Willy Wonka slot machines.
Yeah.
I went over to the pit, the craps tables, and
Perfect.
put one there.
Perfect.
I
And
want to make sure that I'm covering all the bases.
do yours have staying power? Do they hang about and sort of solidify their presence, or?
Well, I'll find a good chair with some cushions on it. Not the leather blocking kind of cushions, but the really absorbent kind of fabric cushions on them, and then I'll just make sure to bury one in there that'll stay there for a little while.
You drill them into those, and they have good. The next three people that sit there will notice. They'll know. Yeah.
Right there in front of the Three Little Pigs Huff and Puff tournament slot machine. Right there is the one.
Yeah.
That's a real thing.
You know what they do a lot now? I noticed when we were there last time. It kind of annoys me.
that?
It's not that big a deal, I guess. But usually you go and you see these name brand or interesting branded slot machines. So it's a Lord of the Rings machine or
IP,
Mad Max machine or whatever, IP based.
Machines, yeah.
But this time I noticed that there was one called Perturbed Avians or some shit that looked like Angry Birds, but it wasn't actual Angry Birds.
The Troma version of Angry Birds, basically.
Yeah, there was like a ton of that this last time. And I didn't expect that. Is that just them going, I don't think people actually care if it's Angry Birds. They just want to play the bird machine. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So common. And I'm trying to think of one that I saw on this trip that I had to do a second glance. It was like, that's almost Game of Thrones. And there is a Game of Thrones machine, obviously. But I look over, it's like, oh, that's funny. That kind of looks like a Game of Thrones slot machine. And then you look closer, it's like, yeah, kind of everything about it looks Game of Thrones.
And their games are like Throne of Games or some shit. And it's almost like
that.
It's like mobile games. Mobile games do this all the time. It's like they'll have a picture that looks like an orc from World of Warcraft, but the name of the game is like War of Craft, Ultimate whatever.
Exactly. Yes.
I hate that stuff.
Yeah, it's people are obviously able to do that because it works. You can capitalize on people's inability to remember exactly what the name of the thing that they like is. So it's like, oh, I think that's it because that looks like the thing I like, and they'll download it and say, great, a microtransaction me.
Suckers.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
it's too easy these days to prey upon the dim-witted.
That is true. That is true.
The slow, yeah.
They're easily more. They're more. It's not that they didn't always exist. It's just they're easily tapped. It's easy to find them now.
They really are. Yes.
They're all connected. Everyone's got a phone, so you can easily advertise to them because they're out liking AI images on Facebook. That looks like Jesus somehow. I love it. Let me like it and put a smile. I can't believe you saw Jesus. Those people are now accessible.
I got fooled this week, by the way. I totally fell for an AI image that I thought was real. It was a photo of two Cybertrucks that had crashed into each other.
Oh yeah, those are. I saw that one too, and it was the tires that gave it away for me.
There's like a little indent stripe on one of the tires that's like, okay, that's what that, and the fact that there are door handles is the other giveaway. Yeah, no, you're right. There was. It's funny though because those things, especially when you're dealing with geometric shapes, they can fake those a lot better than people, and they got to be a little more scrutinous. But the people on Facebook who miss the obvious ones, like I crocheted an entire elephant. I'm a grandma. Like my photo, and people believe that shit. Those people are also getting ads for microtransacted bullshit on app stores. Yeah.
Bringing in the dummies. Kind of like we just did now with Brian Dunaway. Joining us now for a little bit of a game is Mr. Brian Dunaway. Hi, Brian. How are you?
The most insulting segue ever. Oh, hi, Scott and Brian.
The most insulting segue is the actual segue from the Segway people back in the day. That was an insulting
Aren't they
device.
working on something new? Didn't they come up with some kind of new thing? They're trying to recapture the magic. Didn't I see that recently?
I don't know.
Are they? I hadn't heard. If that's true. It's news to me.
I've been seeing a lot in around that are the instead of the bar that comes all the way up that you hold like handlebars or hold like a handlebar, they have one where it's kind of like it only goes as high as your knees, so you've got your feet on either side of it. It's almost like one of those, what do they call that, a one wheel? But it goes up to your knees, and you kind of like you use your knees to kind of steer it. So
if these kids out here, they don't know what the Segway is, it was the Cybertruck of its day.
It kind of was, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Not well, I don't know. Some people
they were
love
rusting out in the rain, exploding when they hit telephone poles,
Sure.
Yeah.
Technology.
Hey, Jeff Sire, that was Brian Dunaway talking there. And if you don't like what he said about Tesla, send me an email. Anyway,
the nine bot, I guess, is what that thing's called. The nine bot.
My dad actually has his reserved.
Oh, a Cybertruck? He shouldn't have to reserve it. They're everywhere. They're like over.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, now, but not 5 years ago when the promises were made, and he was all like, "I'm getting in on this Cybertruck deal." I'm like, "Dad, you're not 40 anymore. I don't know if you'll still be here by the time he gets done with it."
Yeah, who knows? Well, they're all now they can't get rid of him. So have him check with his dealership and get off that damn list. Just get his truck already. Yeah. We have on the line with us a listener who happened to be third caller, which is what I chose to choose today. I usually do fourth. Today I snuck in and did a third person. And guess who it is? It's Ian. I am Sci-Fi. Hello, dude. How are you?
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap. Look, is the East Coast safe with you there? Tell me about it.
The East Coast is boiling right now, Scott. It is like 93
Confirmed.
degrees. It has been consistently for the last 7 days. It's ridiculous.
You guys are in that someone called it a heat dome. Heat dome?
Heat bowl. I call it heat bowl. We don't have heat domes here. Yeah, we just, so
I was reading an article that says they're having a heat dome, and the picture they used looked like a giant,
heat dome.
It looked like Galactus had dropped a contact on the planet.
Nice.
It did.
Hold on. Nobody move.
Don't move. I lost my left one again. Shit. Surfer, to me.
Surfer, please help me.
Get the Silver Surfer to get my contact back. Well, anyway, it's good to have you here. We're going to play a game. Brian's going to explain it, tell us what the prizes are, and what you could win. Brian, take it away.
Okay, well, it's time to play the Tadpooly Feud. I've surveyed the tadpole on some nerdy topics, and Scott and Brian are going to have to predict the answers that they gave us. It is Scott and Brian's job to see how many of those answers they can come up with. I am Sci-Fi. Your job is more important than ever because you're going to be working with either Scott or Brian. And if your team wins, you will get a prize package that includes the Miasma Chronicles and Empyrean Galactic Survival.
Oh, I have that game, and that game's very good, by the way. Yeah. I haven't played the other one, but I played that, and it's fantastic. You'll like it.
I don't know.
Excellent.
Even
Very
in
good.
the heat.
Yeah, even in the heat. In your heat
Even
dome.
in the heat. Played
Awesome.
under the dome. Excellent.
Let's get in here and
All
go.
right. Let's get to it. I see both of you have logged in. Put your hands on your buzzers and give me your best answer to this. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert, folks. You'll find out why in just a moment. What's your favorite character from a TV series who doesn't survive the series?
Oh,
Scott.
Doesn't survive the series. Shit.
well, you should have an answer before you buzz in.
Well, usually yes, but this is the
we should
strategy
discuss
here.
it a little longer. You should think more about it.
3 seconds.
Sorry. Walter White.
Dang it!
And hold on. You got it just in time.
Oh,
I'll let you have that one. Walter
okay,
White,
okay.
number 4 on the list. Walter White. 3 answers will beat it. Brian, name a TV character. Now, I will tell you this, and I'm only going to say this because it is not to save people who are like, I'm not listening to this one because it's full of spoilers. There are no currently airing shows in this list.
So the 2 week Vince Gilligan 2 week thing is totally applying to all these.
2 weeks definitely applies.
Okay.
For this
I can
one.
only think of
Yeah.
stupid answers, by the way.
Yeah,
I can
of course
only,
you
for
can.
some reason, I can think of stupid answers.
So what's so different this week, Brian?
Oh.
Oh, see, Scott's not the only one who can
So
zing it.
read the question again.
Sure. What's your favorite character from a TV series who doesn't survive the series?
Roseanne.
That is a stupid answer. Let's see if it's on the board. Show me Roseanne.
That made me hurt. It was so worth it. It was
But
so
I
worth it.
absolutely love that answer. That is a fantastic answer.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
this
So
is
that
good.
means, Scott, you've got control. You've got Sci-Fi there with you. And let me hit the button that says Scott will play. Scott, play.
All right. What do you think, Ian? Anything leaping to your soul?
How about Tony Soprano?
Oh, it's a good one.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah,
For real.
the funny thing is we only know, so that finale was in 2007, I think, and we only have recently in the last 5 years found out from David Chase. Was it David Chase? No, the other guy. Anyway, the showrunner, creator guy. David Chase was there, but he left to do Mad Men, so it was a different guy.
At that point, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. Anyway, I think David Chase ran it at the end, but the story was what's his name. Anyway, point is, it's all confirmed now. So I feel like this is one they would answer in the affirmative. So I'm going to say I agree, and we should try Tony Soprano. Let's do it.
All right, sounds good. Show me. Hey, come on, give me some of that gabagool. Answer is 2 people said it. Only 50, 50 in the list. It's a good answer, but I think there's some people who are like, well, we don't know for sure, even though it's kind of been confirmed by the showrunner. You're right. All right, Brian. Oh, wow. Back over to you. What other dumb answers do you have?
Well, all the rest of my answers are going to be Game of Thrones. So I'm going to go with Eddard Stark.
Okay.
All right. Show me Ned, Eddard Stark. Number one answer on the board.
Yeah, baby.
Giving you a point. Got 1 point to Scott and Ian's 4 points right now, so very good.
Damn, dude.
Oh, Jesus.
For some reason, well, go ahead. I don't want to give you an answer.
Right. Thanks, man. But no, go ahead. You were saying?
There's a particular show where in the end nobody survived. Right. And I just trying to think what the tadpole would say, but I'm not going to tell you which one.
Gosh, wonder what show that could be.
Yeah, I think Brian. I mean, you'll obviously know, but I don't know if the chat's got the head for it or not. Maybe I don't know. You go ahead, Brian. You do what you do.
I can't know if there's so many great answers. I want to stay in Game of Thrones, but I want to. The other show that always was killing people off constantly and always making me mad. And I'll tell you who I hated they killed when they killed Echo. He was my favorite character in Lost, but there's no way that's on the list. However, didn't they kill Saeed? It gets a little blurry. I think they killed Saeed, and he was one of my favorites. I was pissed.
Killed him, you say killed
every
him?
week.
Yeah.
Didn't they kill him?
I don't remember. I'll be honest. I'll be completely honest. I do not remember.
Shows.
Yeah.
It was one of those shows where every time they would kill somebody, that's it. I'm not watching it no more. And it seems like I did stop after that.
Yeah.
For a while.
All right.
I came back.
All right, let's so you're going with Saeed?
Now I can't remember if he died. Now I feel like I'm wrong. His son died. They all died. You know what? They're all dead.
His son.
I want to put the cast. I want to put the whole cast of Lost.
Well, you're kind of getting to what I was hitting at earlier. So well done. Yeah. Good job on that.
Saeed. Because you're going to tell me I was wrong.
Saeed, okay. All right. Show me Saeed Jarrah from Lost. No. And,
did he actually die?
Well, boy, oh boy, this is such a, it's been long enough. If you haven't watched Lost, then it's on you.
When it stopped airing like almost a decade ago, right?
It did, yeah. Like the show premiered 20 years ago. Yeah. So over a decade ago. So everybody who died on the island died on the island, but the people who got off the island, and a lot of people were rescued at the end, they lived full lives, but the flash sidewayses that you were seeing were the things that occurred after they lived their full lives.
Right.
And even if they died years and years and years apart, they were shown to have been arriving all at the same time for that final episode.
Right.
That is a great explanation. However, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what the tadpole believes, because they have their own reality.
That's true.
There you go.
I will tell you.
I think I just got a brain aneurysm with
driving
that.
It is. I know, and it's such the assumption, and Red Fraggle. I think it brought that up during the show, like while she was on the air, had mentioned, well, everybody's dead on Lost. And I said, oh, you need to watch the series again. And then she watched it, and I believe she and Chuck, you guys, if I remember correctly, really enjoyed it. And I was like, okay, that wasn't what I remember from the first watching. That was really cool.
Yeah. So. Lost deserves to be watched twice. I truly believe that.
I've probably gone through 3 or 4 watchings of the show. It's up there in my top 5 favorite shows of all time, easily.
It's very good. All right, Ian, what do you think? Right. What do you think, Ian, about Henry Blake from MASH? How do you feel about that?
Ooh, that's a good one.
There were
I didn't
no
think
survivors.
About MASH.
Yeah,
there were no survivors, exactly.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That was a big deal back in the day. I don't know how many people think about it anymore, but that's a big one.
Yeah. Leaving the show, then we're going to use this opportunity to kill your character off. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, see you around. I guess they didn't kill everybody, though. When Radar left, he didn't die. He just left. He went home to save the farm.
See, they got off the island okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Trapper went and had his spin-off show. Like
that's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
They didn't even use the same actor.
At some point, every character from every TV show dies. Really.
Yeah. If you want to think of it that way.
During the series, yeah. All right, is that what you're going with? Or are you going with
Let's do
Colonel
Henry
Blake?
Yeah, Colonel Blake, Henry Blake.
All right. There were no survivors.
Yeah.
Number 3 answer on the board, taking you guys up to 7 points.
Nice. Wow, can you believe that still is impacting people this long
It was a
later?
big deal, dude. That was huge deal. That is big. That was almost as big as the kid was a chicken or the baby was a chicken. You know?
Right.
All right.
It really was. Yeah.
Let's
see. Got a very
see.
Scott answer, and you can decide whether or not it's in your wheelhouse. It's the West Wing. What about Mrs. Landingham?
Oh, that was a hardcore one. That was one where they both him and Leo. They did this with both those characters, where the actor died, and then they had the characters die rather than recast them or whatever. So yes, I think Mrs. Landingham was maybe was more impactful because, I mean, there was just nothing not to like about her. She was like the soul of that show for a while, or felt like it anyway, or a big part of it. So yeah, you know what? I like your gut. Let's do it. Let's say Mrs. Landingham from the West Wing.
Very good. All right, show me Mrs. Landingham from the West Wing. No.
Damn it.
Two people said it. I'm sorry, 3. No, 2 people said it. So way down at number 39.
39.
39. Wow. Back over to you, Mr. Dunaway.
Well, I want to say the one that hurt me the most was when JJ's dad died, John Amos.
On good times.
That killed me. I thought he actually died in real life.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's how impressionable I was during the time. But I'm not going to say that one. Actually, I'm going to go with something more recent. And there's no way the show can end because they already spoiled it in the Big Bang Theory. Young Sheldon, his daddy die.
Oh, sure. Okay.
All
right. Show me young Sheldon's dad.
Should I went with John Stamos? John Amos?
Maybe
John Stamos. Stay
with
John
Stamos. I said Stamos, but it was he made it.
And when Uncle Jesse died in Full House, that was something. Yeah.
Didn't he die in a movie theater with Alanis Morissette? Oh, never mind. That was somebody else.
Was that on the list at all, Brian? Did they make it at all?
Young Sheldon's dad?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Not even on the list. No, I just did a quick search to see.
What about old Sheldon's dad? I mean, come on.
Right.
Yeah, duh.
Any Sheldon's dad.
All right. Ian, got anything that's burning a hole there for you?
I mean, I've got other Breaking Bads and I've got other Game of Throneses.
Yeah.
But if you have other choices, because I mean, I'd say Gus Fring Breaking Bad. That was.
Well,
that was pretty.
That was pretty big. I feel like and Mike Ehrmantraut was a big one. Yeah. Brian Dunaway's doing a thing to me where he's making me go back in my childhood a little bit because of the because of the JJ thing.
Dynamite.
And I think it's when we were kids.
It really crushed me when Mr. Spacely died.
No, but well beyond that. But I remember as a kid being absolutely devastated when we found out Mr. Hooper died in real life and on the show that they just had him die.
Yeah. They made that too real.
Yeah,
he should have just went on a trip.
I think it was
that into the show. Into lore.
It is Hooper, right? Hooper.
Yeah, Mr. Hooper.
Mr. Hooper. Yeah.
All right. How do you feel, Ian, about Mr. Hooper?
It's a good answer. Even if it turns out 2 people got it, that's a good answer.
All right, let's do it, Mr. Hooper.
All right. Show me Mr. Hooper from Sesame Street.
Oh, you guys have no hearts.
Your third strike. And oddly enough, Ian, 2 people said Mr. Hooper. So
nice.
Yeah.
Killed you.
Wow. Like 7 answers still on the board, Brian. And listen, if you get any on the right side, you either tie things or win them. So
I think everybody cried a little bit when Cersei and Jamie were underneath the city there and making out one last time.
Yeah.
As they died. That show's upsetting.
Way to go, all of you! Like picking characters that everybody hated, and saying that it's a favorite TV character who died in a series. Oh yeah, Gus Fring. We love Gus Fring.
But it's like when they killed JR for Not Real. JR, is that right? Who killed?
Sure. Yeah, JR. Yeah. Uh-huh.
But Cersei was a favorite. You love Jaime Lannister. You still love this.
That's true. That's true. You did like Jaime. Yes.
They were complicated. They were complicated characters, and that was the point. You had to deal with the complications. Sure. But I can't believe you said JR, and you're not going with JR. I would have gone with JR.
But he didn't really die. It was just a dream. Bobby woke up in his shower.
No. It was Patrick Duffy's character woke up in the shower, and
that's right.
There was a whole other season that was a dream or something. But
but JR died. He straight up died.
Kristen.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. Kristen.
Okay, in that case, JR then.
Sure, why not? Why don't we just end this game with only 3 answers on the board? All right, cool.
No, Cersei. Make it Cersei.
You want Cersei?
Give me Cersei, baby. Rolling the dice. Give me some Cersei.
Tell you what, I'll say, give me either Cersei or JR.
Oh, okay, there you go. Hilarious.
Before you give away all the 7 still on the board, Brian, was one of them Tara from Buffy?
Number 10 on the board. 10 points for Tara from Buffy.
Okay, I just noticed somebody in the chat, since we've lost, I'm looking, they said something about Maude Flanders. Is that on there?
Maude Flanders is not in the top 10, but
she got killed by a gun, right? It was
a t-shirt gun.
Yeah. T-shirt gun.
Well, technically, she got killed by the fall off the back of the bleachers.
The impact,
right.
But she got shot with the t-shirt gun. She was number 26 on the list. Okay. Let's go through your number 2 answer on the board. We're currently watching this, and though he didn't die in the series, he did die in the movie, and that's all that matters.
Oh, Wash.
Wash. Yeah, Wash.
Oh, okay.
Wash from Firefly.
Yeah. That's a killer.
Damn it. This one hurt twice. Once when we thought he died, and then once when he actually died, thanks to Negan's bat. Glenn Rhee from The Walking Dead, number 5.
Glenn Rhee!
Yeah. Still one of the dirtiest tricks on TV in TV history. That comic book led me down a path that they did not take, and gosh dang it, they dangled a carrot and then yanked it away and beat my head in with the carrot. It's those bastards.
With a barbed wire around the carrot.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Mr. Echo's death was that hurt.
Are you kidding me? Oh,
but no, the only true answer for whose death on
Charlie,
not Penny's boat. Yeah, Charlie.
Dang it.
Saved everybody by or at least tried to warn everybody, Desmond, by writing "not Penny's boat" on his hand and put it up against the glass before he died. Oh my God, still get choked up thinking about that.
Yeah.
You said you had a bunch of Game of Thrones still in the chamber, Brian. You should have used them. Who would you have said, by the way?
I don't know.
Well, there's only one right answer, and that is Hodor.
Hodor. Shit.
Of course.
Shit. Hold the door. You forget how many people in that series got killed off, man. You just forget.
Everybody.
Red Wedding, answer number 8. No, Daenerys Targaryen is answer number 8. And Ian, you were probably going to dive back into the Breaking Bad again.
Yep.
And
Mike Ehrmantraut, I'll bet.
Mike Ehrmantraut, number 9.
Yeah.
There you
go.
Oh, I had that one in my head for most of today, and then I kept going with something else. Stupid.
So the important thing is
number 11. I really wish somebody would have said Tasha Yar.
Oh, Tasha Yar.
That would have been your bonus guess. Dr. Mark Green from ER, Carl from Walking Dead, George O'Malley from Grey's Anatomy.
Who was sad that Carl died? Nobody was sad that Carl died.
Somebody was sad. It was 8 people were
Coral.
sad that.
Yeah, totally.
Get back in the house, Coral. I think I was sadder when what's her name? She went on to Orange Is the New Black. When her character died. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Jadzia Dax was number 16. Joe Miller, Detective Joe from The Expanse.
I thought Jadzia Dax just left.
Tuvix.
I didn't know Jadzia died. I thought she just left and the worm went to some other girl. I mean, it was.
No, I think she died and the worm went to some other girl. I think.
Yeah,
you know that.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. Is that she died and then it got transferred.
Damn it.
Detective Joe Miller from The Expanse. That was a sad one. John Locke from Lost. Oberyn Martell, because, Pedro Pascal. Number 19. Omar from The Wire. Opie from Sons of Anarchy. Buffy's mom. Also making people sad when she died. Coach Ernie Pantuso from Cheers. This is a recent one.
That's real life, though.
No, this one right here. Let's see. My name, remember it. That one. I'll just say that so to avoid some spoilers.
Oh, okay.
Those people who are familiar with it know what the reference was, and I'm not going to spoil anything because that is a within the last year show. Kenny from South Park.
Oh yeah. Surprised I didn't
Logan Roy
make it.
from Succession.
Yeah.
Let's see. That one I won't say because it's a current show. That one I probably won't say because it's a current show. Bleeding Gums Murphy, I'll say. Christopher Moltisanti from The Sopranos. Eddie Munson from Stranger Things. Edna Krabappel. Hank from Breaking Bad. Got a couple people choked up.
Oh, yeah. I love Hank.
Laura Palmer. Boy, she didn't survive.
Wow. That was right at the top.
She didn't survive the series at all because she didn't even... She was dead before the opening credits of the first episode.
Yeah, she was wrapped in plastic. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. Leo McGarry from The West Wing was up there as well. McDreamy. Oh, I said McDreamy. Let's see. Paul Hennessy from Eight Simple Rules, of course. John Ritter. Prue Halliwell from Charmed. Somebody just said Sean Bean. Okay.
Yeah,
Seymour Asses, Fry's dog from Futurama.
Hey, did they? Was this list have? You just made me think of one. Shit, who am I thinking of? Phil Hartman's character on News Radio. Did that get on there?
Oh,
it was mentioned. Now, did his character die on the show, or did? Okay, so they wrote. It was
an in between season death, and then in the last season they started off the season with a funeral.
Yeah, and they brought John Lovitz on to be a new character, but he didn't replace him.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know if when couldn't remember if after Phil Hartman died, if they just said, "Oh no, his character left to go to another station or something," but they actually did. Yeah. So it's kind of like. Well, no, I guess it's not at all like what happened with Chevy Chase. They just killed him off. They killed Pierce off in Community. By the way, nobody said Chevy Chase on Community. Not the favorite character from a TV series. Exactly. A favorite death from his TV series, maybe. The doctor from Doctor Who. The mother from How I Met Your Mother. And then Alf. Pond. Who else do we have? Ben from Scrubs. Big Pussy. Sorry, folks.
Nice.
Yeah, what was his name? It's fine.
Yeah, that was his name. That was the character's name.
Yep.
I might skip a couple of these. Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense. Somebody really paying attention. Understood the assignment there. Well done.
Yeah.
Let's see. Chair model from The Office.
Wow.
Okay.
Chair model.
That's a deep cut. Yeah.
That's a deep cut. Okay.
I don't remember that.
Cousin Oliver from the Brady Bunch. Boy, I don't remember that episode.
Deepest cut.
There's your Dan Connor, by the way, from Roseanne.
He died, but then he came back, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was weird.
He came back, and now Roseanne's dead. That's
it was weird.
Because PB magic.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Frank and Bill from The Last of Us. That's a great answer, and it should have been higher on the list, but only one person said it. I think it was great.
Yeah.
And we'll say, and Jane Margolis from Breaking Bad, the Kristen Ritter character that Walter just kind of sat there.
Oh, that was rough.
Yeah, that was such a rough death. Yeah,
freaking rough.
It's all right. She got to be Jessica Jones, so she everything turned out all right for good old Kristen Ritter.
Except the first season was awesome. The rest of that show I could not get through. I didn't enjoy it. I don't know what happened there. Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones?
Yeah.
I think there only was one season.
Thought there were two. No?
But she was in The Defenders.
I thought there was a...
Was there a second season of Jessica Jones? And I
could have sworn
each of them had a second season. That's right.
Yeah, her second season was rough.
Weren't there even 3 seasons of Jessica Jones?
Well,
were there really?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, season 2 and 3.
There are 3 seasons.
Yeah.
No way. Yeah. Well, I've completely blacked out the second 2 seasons. Apparently.
I didn't try 3, so I can't speak to it. But 2 lost me. 1 was great.
Well, then I think we're coming back to that for Couch Party then.
Oh boy. Well, there you go. I might veto that one. We'll see how it goes. I mean, like I say, love the first season. Second season, just real bummer. I don't know if I could
I'm
watch
trying to
that
remember
again.
who the enemy was in the second season. Do you remember? Because it was the Purple Man in the first season, and that was great. Tennant as the.
He was very good in there.
He was really good. Yeah.
But I do not remember how they lost me, but they did. Okay. That's gonna do it for this. This is good news for everybody because we got a winner right here.
And so much to
Whoops, not that.
Congratulations.
You're a winner, and that means you get these codes. Brian will have those over to you if he hasn't already, and you'll install them, you'll play them, and you'll thank us every day that you're alive. How's that sound, Ian? Does that sound good?
That sounds fantastic. Scott, you mind if I plug something real quick before you kick me off?
Plug it.
Awesome. So I just went back to doing my my comic book podcast, the Comic Timing podcast. So if anyone wants to check out me talking for about 2 hours, usually with guests or other people that I hang out with, comictiming.net is where you can find that.
Comictiming.net. Check it out now before it's too late. See you next time. Well, I only had another thing, but I cut him off. Dunaway.
I know how that feels.
I'll bet you do. Not lately, though. I've been keeping you on way too long lately.
I know. Agreed.
You and I are we're getting together this weekend. We're going to talk about Bubble Bobble on Play Retro at 1:30 Mountain Time on Friday. And the reason we're doing that is because that game freaking rules. It's so good.
It does.
Bubble, yeah.
And you guys are going to, and people who have been following all week the progress of trying to play a few of these games and the series, we're probably just going to stick with the classic stuff, the original, the arcade, the stuff that hit in the 80s, because man, does this series take off and go in all kinds of directions, including Puzzle Bobble and, Magic Islands and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah, and if you're sitting there in the States going, Puzzle Bobble, what the hell's that? Oh, you played it. It was called Bust a Move over here for some reason.
That's right, yeah.
All kinds of stuff.
Stupid name change. They were so chicken of names over here. I don't know what their deal was. Anyway, it was the 90s. What are you going to do? We're going to talk about that at length, 1:30 Mountain Time at frogpants.tv on Friday. If you would rather get the podcast, that's all available at frogpants.com/playretro. Brian Dunaway, is there anything else you'd like to say?
No, thanks for hanging out with me today. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. If we'd hug you on the way out the door if we could.
Let's do it again.
Bye now.
We can. Come on.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye now. Bye. He hung up on me. See? Can't tell me I hang up on him too quick anymore.
Nice.
All right, Brian, we're going to take a break. When we come back from this break, Tom Merritt will be joining us, so we'll Randy and Nicole after that for some recommendals. We got to play a song, though, so please do.
We do. This one is Fun Indie in the Middle here. This comes from Terrence Fixmer. This is a brand new album from him called The Paradox in Me. Here is Terrence Fixmer, harder to say. I think this is instrumental. I was trying to pull up my notes on this and completely forgot to. The song is called In Synthesis.
My ex-husband wore the same brand of tidy whities.
That's a men's loafer.
It is a uni loafer.
And we're back with new interstitial music because that other one also is getting me takedown notices. So I'm using Skyhawk now.
Nice.
I won't get busted for that. He made this shit for me. So
nothing wrong with that at all.
Anyway, hey, Brian, tell me who that was one more time before we get to Tom.
Yeah, French producer Terrence Fixmer, his brand new album, The Paradox in Me, released it via Mute and Nova Mute overseas. Big thanks to Mute Records for sending me this one. This is great. Yeah, the song is called In Synthesis, and it's very, the whole album is very, very cool.
Nice. Check it out, everybody. Yeah. Get it where you get it. And
get it where you get it.
I'm sure there are plenty of places where that can be done for you.
We want Tom.
We do indeed want Tom. And good news is he's here. He's busy training a dog, but we're busy training him. No, I don't know what that means.
What?
Yeah, you rehabilitate dogs. You train humans.
That's right.
Exactly.
Keep it straight, everybody. Hey, it's good to have you back. How is all that going? The dog looks great. Seven is the name, correct?
Seven is the name of the dog, yeah. He's going to be 10 weeks old tomorrow.
Jeez.
So he's a puppy. And he's very trainable. He's super smart. But he has a lot of puppy behaviors, and they can be exhausting sometimes. you know that going in with a puppy. But he's super cute. He's super smart, and he's exhausting but wonderful.
Oh, I'd love to hear updates on this dog. I've been obviously following photos and stuff, but he's adorable. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's awesome.
Yeah, I'm been posting a bunch about him on my own Instagram, but he has his own now. Even though he's underage, it's technically a violation, I guess, of Instagram's terms of service. But
that's good stuff.
You can follow Seven the Good Dog on Instagram.
Oh, very nice. Well,
Seven the Good Dog. I love it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Was it
Eileen picked that? I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect.
Was 7 chosen for 7 of 9, or what's the connection there? What's the nerd?
So the main impulse is one of Eileen's favorite songs is 7 by Jungkook from BTS.
Yeah.
And we adopted him on June 13th, which is the anniversary of the formation of BTS. So she thought that was appropriate.
I love it. Oh my God.
I support that. Don't get me wrong, but I also liked the implication that we could be like also 7 of 9, and Lucky 7 and all of that. So yeah, it all works.
Well, that's awesome. Let's get into some tech news. If it's dog related, that's fine too. I don't care.
That's right. And I'll tell you one really quick thing, Tom, because we did trivia when we were in Vegas. Went out with James and Svet from Same Sex Mary and went to their local pub trivia in Boulder City. And you came up because it was because of you that we were able to answer a question about a certain Austrian-born American actress who was, strikingly attractive, but also was a co-inventor of the radio guidance system for torpedoes and things like that. And thank you for I think you had talked with us about it while you were in Vegas for TMS Vegas.
Did I really? I don't remember bringing up
Hedy Lamar.
Yeah. Hedy Lamar, really? Whoa.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. That's crazy.
Like bombshell actress and guidance system co-inventor for torpedoes.
Yeah, it's like a time division multiplex analysis algorithm that she and her co-inventor patented.
Right.
And a lot of that is the basis for what eventually became Wi-Fi and cell phones and all of that.
Thanks for Bluetooth, Hedy Lamar.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And the big poster on everyone's wall. Well, that's great. Tom, let's talk about what's happening in technology today. Has there been anything that we're just like, whoa, tech news, get ready?
I'm just putting the finishing touches on my write-up for the Tech Tom newsletter about the mistaken labeling of human-made photos as made by AI on Instagram specifically.
Oh no! So it's going the other way now.
Yeah. So basically, what they were trying to do is look at metadata and say, oh, it looks like somebody used AI to generate this. Let's label it so people know. Right, which is a good impulse. They should absolutely do that. But a bunch of human photographers found their stuff labeled with AI, which is, in that world, a damage to their reputation, because there's a lot of dispute about photographers using AI and passing off work as their own, even though it probably doesn't happen very often. But, people didn't want other people thinking that's what they were doing. And Petapixel did a great job of breaking down what seems to trigger that label. Particularly, it's 2 features in Adobe products, generative fill and generative expand. And the key is it didn't matter how much you used them. So they tried removing a piece of dust on a lens with generative fill. So they deleted the I'm oversimplifying if you know how this stuff works, but
sure.
They deleted the dust and then used generative fill to fill it in so there was no hole there, right? That got tagged as labeled as made with AI. Because the Adobe tool that does generative fill is AI, that added AI records to the metadata, and apparently the made with AI filtering system just looks for that metadata. It doesn't look for how much it was used or anything. It just says, looks like some AI was used, made with the AI. Whereas, oddly, generative remove in Adobe Lightroom which is kind of the same thing but faster, right? You're like, oh, there's a bunch of leaves in front of a cat, and you tell Firefly, remove the leaves in front of the cat, and it just gets rid of them. That did not trigger the label because that is in early access and therefore doesn't add the metadata. So since again, it was a very simple filter, it's just looking at the metadata. Also, images generated by Stable Diffusion don't get labeled for some reason, which is odd. The upshot of all this is it's a great impulse to say, let's label things with AI. I don't think it's a problem if it doesn't catch everyone. Petapixel noted that you could take a screenshot of something, and even if it says the watermark in the screenshot, it wouldn't get labeled, right. Which you're like, oh, so you can bypass it. Every tool is bypassable. That doesn't bother me so much. As long as it's catching a lot of them, I think it's helpful. When you have false positives, though, when you're labeling things that aren't, and when it's because your tool just isn't very sophisticated, I don't think this is ready for rollout yet.
Yeah, there's a little bit of everybody tripping over each other right now going on. I think this is a growing pain for this especially for image generation thing, and so I'm not surprised to hear about this particular situation or any other. I even I put up a joke, a comic that I wrote about somebody who poking directly fun at people who think that their prompt makes them a professional artist. And you probably saw it. I think I did give you a link or something. Anyway, I put that up there. All's fine. But somebody on Vero, which is like an art site or art app, where it's a lot like Instagram, but just for artists. I put my stuff up there, and a guy accused me of using AI to generate that comic. And he doesn't have any technical way of knowing that. He just thinks I did. And
turns out anybody can say anything on the internet to try to get a response from you.
You're absolutely right. So I guess what I'm saying is we are gonna see a lot of this bumping into each other, a lot of this tripping over each other, a lot of even the technical side of it. People like Stable Diffusion not being labeled as AI versus something from Adobe with a single speck removed labeled as AI. Like, this is going to get weird. I think it's probably necessary to just sort of figure out where this settles, but it's going to get funky. And it's going to make everybody confirm their bias on whatever side of any of the stuff they're on. And it's going to be kind of a nightmare, but it will end one day. Okay?
Yeah.
We'll get there.
This too shall pass, right?
Yeah.
I'm with you there. I do think that you need to err on the side of letting stuff be unlabeled than err on the side of human stuff being mistakenly labeled. For some reason, that seems like it undermines trust more than the other way. Everybody, I think, expects that people will find ways around tools and you won't catch everything. I think no one really expected human-made stuff to get labeled, and it's because it's kind of a lazy filter. So I think, yeah, you know what? Send that one back to the lab, work on it a little more, and try to make sure that you're not, that you're adding in stuff that catches these kinds of mistakes when a simple speck of dust gets removed. Right. Instead of just saying, oh, is there any evidence that AI was used ever in this? That obviously there's going to be generative tools used all the time. They're all over Adobe products right now. That said, I think you're right that this is how we work out the kinks, right?
Yeah.
You got to run into these problems.
Yeah, and I also think you're right that there's never going to be a catch-all perfect way to not have people circumvent tools. There's too much. Too much DRM is also a thing people don't want.
Isn't zero. Your goal is as close to zero as possible.
Yeah, and as close to zero false positives, I could not agree more. If we can get, that should be the goal. You can tell when people are cheating, but I don't want to accuse people of that who aren't. Well, anyway, there's that, and there's more. I promise you that today on the Daily Tech News Show. Plenty to talk about. There always is. Summer's weird, right? All this stuff tends to recede a little bit. Everybody's going on vacation. There's a lot of just things dry up a little bit after all those conferences and announcements and events and everything. But don't worry. DTNS is on the case. They will find what you need, and we'll talk about it today and every day over at the Daily Tech News Show. Tom Merritt, is there anything else people should know about before we cut you loose?
Two things. First, I love all of you. You're the best. Thank you for listening. Two, I have a write-up more about this petapixel thing. I've got a write-up on the Supreme Court decision that may have surprised some folks when the court ruled that it was not unconstitutional for the White House to coordinate with Facebook and Twitter and others on suppressing misinformation. Explain why that was why the Supreme Court thought that, and you can get that in my newsletter at freetomnewsletter.com.
Nice. One day it will be free.
Oh, sorry, freetechnewsletter.com.
Oh,
I did it to myself. Free Tom newsletter will just get you pictures of puppies.
Yeah.
Free tech newsletter will get you the U.S. Supreme Court analysis.
And there's nothing wrong with either of those things. You sign up for both.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Your choice.
Both those places exist. Go check it out. Tom Merritt, he is going to be here at 2:30 Mountain Time with me and the Wednesday crew. So look forward to that. Tom Merritt, have a fantastic week.
Thanks, you both.
See you next time.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
I can't find it. There he goes.
Bye.
There.
Oh, these awkward goodbyes. Goodbye, and then you find out you parked right next to him in the parking lot.
That's right. Oh, that guy. You remind me of your story of that guy. You never saw him again, right? You're done. That dude never showed up again.
I never saw that guy. Yeah.
That made me laugh yesterday so much. All right, we are going to bring in Randy Deluxe and Nicole Spagnolo for their time to shine here on the podcast. It's the usual Wednesday business, and it starts with this.
Well, what do you recommend?
Well, we recommend movies, streaming TV shows, and other stuff you can find on streaming services. And it's usually stuff we like. We try not to give you stuff we don't like, but occasionally we'll warn you or give you a little bit of it's not as good as you think it is. Like
mental.
Like sure. Jessica Jones season 2 and 3. Like that.
You haven't even seen season 3, and I just looked on Rotten Tomatoes, and they've got way higher than above average scores. So
what they give it for 2? Do they have separate ratings?
82% critic score, 70%, 67% or 70% audience score.
Well,
so
I definitely don't speak for everybody. I may just be a me thing, but that show lost me pretty hard.
I think Iron Fist maybe deserves your ire, but not Jessica Jones. I think that show, after looking and getting reminded what those second, third seasons about, which I completely forgot, me and Lesarge completely forgot about them.
Yeah.
I think they were better than you think, better than you remember.
All right. Well, I'll have to check it out. It's good to have you both here. Let's start with Nicole. Hi, how are you?
Hi. I'm sorry. I'm so caught up in everything.
You're fine. Oh gosh, you're fine.
You're just a
We're
you're
having
a busy
a big
person.
charity event.
Yeah.
At the shop. So we're going to be doing a whole thing on Friday and Saturday.
Nice. What's the charity for? Who are we helping?
It's called the Purple Heart Project.
Mm.
It's a organization that if you have physical or emotional PTSD from being in the military, Canadian or the US, they sponsor these men and women to learn hand tool woodworking and kind of find a sense of calm. So we're doing a whole thing on dovetails and stuff like that.
Oh, that's great. That sounds like a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really fits the Wood Whisperer vibe too. That's awesome.
So we're just all over the place. So I do apologize for being like.
No, you're all good.
Totally
Randy, it's good to have you here as well. How are you?
Good morning stream. And is anybody else singing Dovetails? Ooh.
Not me.
I am.
I am definitely not.
Mike has a shirt that has that says that too, with the logo.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
It was one of his favorite shirts. He wore it out completely.
Oh, well, that's what you do when you like a shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is, don't we all dream of having a vault filled with gold coins that you can swim in? Man, I want that.
Right? I want to dive into those.
I think you'd get a concussion the first time you tried diving into them, though, I think.
You dive real slow. You go real
slow dive. Okay.
Yeah, it's like fighting in Dune. You do it real slow.
Yeah. Like the comedy in this segment. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow. All right.
Kidding.
The war has begun. All right. Hey, let's get to it. Randy, I know you were just in up there in Canada, but I'm sure you had time to see something. So hang on to yours. Nicole, you'll be second today. But Brian, you're first.
Yeah.
Tell us what you got.
All right, so this show, I've been teasing about recommending it for some time now, and the final episode of the season, the first season, finally dropped yesterday. Tina and I devoured it because while I was gone, she watched the entire series up until the finale, and I gotta say, I'm really excited for another season of this. Really, really cool. And I guess we'll listen to the clip where the main character explains what he thinks is going on.
Hypothetical. A man of science. He is married to the woman of his dreams. They have a son, and they all have a good life. Until one night, this man, he goes to a bar. But on the walk home, something happens. He doesn't make it home. When he regains his full presence of mind, everything has changed.
Brain tumor? Head trauma?
CT scan says no.
Maybe it's like some kind of multi-tiered deepfake punking.
Within 5 hours, the entire inside of his house is renovated. And I'm not just saying different pictures on the walls. I'm saying new furniture, new appliances, light switches are moved, walls are different colors. No prank could possibly be this complex. And, I mean, what would be the point?
I don't know. It sounds like he's crazy.
I'm not crazy.
I have no idea what this is.
This is Apple TV Plus's Dark Matter.
Matter.
9 episodes.
That's
The ninth
Joel.
episode-
What's his name?
Edgerton.
I love him.
Yeah.
I knew the voice was familiar. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yep. Joel Edgerton and Jennifer Connelly. You don't hear her in that clip because for time I kind of edited out what she said just to kind of make sure that he gets his whole story out. You also hear Jimmy Simpson, who you know from things like House of Cards. God, was he in Mr.
Jimmy
Robot?
Simpson.
Yeah. I know.
He's in a really memorable episode of Black Mirror. Go on.
He is. He absolutely is. Anyway, really, really good actor as well, and very compelling in his look. Anyway, the show is about a guy who is an inventor of sorts. He's actually a physics professor at a college, but he's also an inventor and creates a box where you step into the box and then you can come out in a completely different alternate reality. And that's all I'm really going to give you on that, because it's there's so much more to it, and it's so deep that I want to make sure you're compelled enough to watch it and not spoil anything for you. Incredible series as far as like the sci-fi, not really time travel, but alternate hopping between realities, a really clever way of doing it. It's based on a book by Blake Crouch, who is also the showrunner. So I love it when the showrunner, the person who wrote the novel, is the person who is making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed for the TV show that's based on it. It's well acted, and my God, there's some episodes where I was left like, I'm not angry, but impatient for the next episode to see how they followed that up and how they were going to wrap something up. And now you don't have to wait. You can binge the whole damn thing, one episode right after another, if you have Apple TV Plus. 9 episodes, each episode, of course, about an hour long, typical thriller drama on Apple TV. And again, Apple TV Plus knocking it out of the park with a really good sci-fi show.
As far as I'm concerned, they are the best place for sci-fi right now. They are killing it.
Yeah.
There are little bits and bops in other streaming services who are like, oh yeah, I like Three Body Problem, or I like this other thing, or whatever. But everything they do, the science fiction stuff, even if it's not to everyone's taste, it's all good over there.
Did you guys watch Sugar yet?
Not yet.
Yes.
Oh, well, he did. Yeah, that's right.
Holy crap, Nicole! You were not kidding. What a turn! What a turn that thing takes.
I loved it so much.
I did too. I really did, and.
I'm so behind on both of those. I need both these shows in my life, so definitely going to watch them. Excellent.
There are 9 episodes, Luke Sightwalker. We watched the 9th one last night. So.
Oh, did he think they were less?
He's all capsing the 8 episodes. 8 episodes.
You've missed one, Luke.
$2.
Yeah, $2. Get in there, catch up.
Go back and rewatch it.
All right. Well, that's great. Go check that out, everybody.
Yeah,
Up next, we
Dark
have
Matter, Apple TV Plus.
We have Nicole, but I don't. Nicole, do I have a clip from you?
I just dropped one in the chat. I'm sorry. I was.
All right, let me find.
Brian, I love it that you do this thing I do, which is when someone writes in all caps, I hear Jerry Seinfeld for some reason.
Totally do. It's absolutely. There are 8 episodes of Dark Matter.
We're just playing Luke.
Where is your? Sorry, I'm not finding it. Oh, you put it in our group thing.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I'm in the wrong place for this.
So
let me grab it.
I'm on a bit of a kick, and I finally got around to watching this. I know this was a recommendal probably a couple years ago.
Yeah,
maybe 3 years ago.
I think it was me. I think it was me at the time. I think Brian had watched it as well. It is.
I can't.
One of my favorite things
believe
ever.
I waited.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I waited so long.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I did.
It's so freaking good. I'm glad you caught up because what a
bring
show.
it back.
Here is a clip from what we are talking about. Here we go. Let me unmute. Here we go.
Did you have any physical or verbal contact with Frankie Peterson? Nope. On March 30th, 2019, did you abduct Frankie Peterson? No. On March 30th, 2019, did you murder Frankie Peterson? I didn't kill that kid, Ralph. Is that it? For tonight, yeah.
All right. This is The Outsider, isn't it? The Outsider's very
That
good.
is The Outsider. You heard Jason Bateman, which I did not realize he was the executive producer of this show. This is a novel by Stephen King that was adapted into what is it, a 10-part miniseries. So there's 10 episodes to it. It is weird, but that's Stephen King, right? So it is a horror detective story. It's the only way I can explain it. And what the clip that you heard is the main investigator trying to figure out who killed this kid. And Jason Bateman is charged with it. And he has proof that he was not even in the town when it happened. But they have tons and tons of evidence, including his DNA, including his fingerprints, that he did do it, and eyewitnesses. And you're like, what the hell is going on?
And video. They had a surveillance
and
video.
Surveillance video, yeah.
So you get introduced. Well, actually, it was Mr. Mercedes. You get introduced to Holly, which Stephen King has a whole book called Holly.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a character that jumps around between his various books, and she's one of the most interesting characters ever.
Yeah. She's in it. If It Bleeds too, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Did you read that one?
No, but I think she's in it, and she's also connected somehow with the Dark Tower stuff. I'd have to go look at the connections.
She's the main character in If It Bleeds.
Oh,
yeah.
is she? Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't read that one. Yeah.
So I'm rereading The Dark Tower. I started The Dark Tower when I was 16 years old. I finished it when, as he kind of brought those books out, as I would devour them. And I was like, it's been so long. I don't know if I remember everything. And so I started doing the audible version of it. And holy crap, I don't remember a damn thing about the Dark Tower series.
Awesome.
I'm on book 5 again. So I've never reread a series before, but I'm so glad I went back to the Dark Tower because I'm just picking up more of it through listening to it versus reading it. And this got me into the mood of Stephen King, and I was like, I haven't watched The Outsider. I wonder how that, connects to his universe. And wow, it's hitting the notes that I was looking for.
That's cool.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm so glad. I want to talk to you offline. Like Wizard and Glass is my favorite book of all time.
Love
my
Wizard
number one
and Glass.
favorite book of all time.
So good.
Book 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Book 4 is something special. It's hard to even. Yeah, it's not that you need the rest of the series to sort of make it all make sense, but
it's
book
so
4
good
so
that
good.
book 5, Wolves of the Kala, is just a different version of it. It's just like a retelling of the. It's like the same story, different place.
Yeah, it really is something.
When Magnus in the chat says, "I tried the first Dark Tower book on an audiobook and I didn't care for it." Me neither. I did not enjoy the person that read the first book, but it's so short that I just kind of powered through it. Mm-hmm. And then they changed the narrator on book 2 and book 3, and it's a much more enjoyable experience.
Well, I think this is so weird. Everyone always says they don't enjoy the Gunslinger. That's what sucked me in. I freaking love the Gunslinger, and I know that fits within my type.
When I read it, it sucked me in. But
yeah, I think it was just the audio, is what Nicole said.
It was the audio. It was the narrator. But the funny thing is, I think it's the same narrator for book 1 that is in book 5, and I'm enjoying him in book 5.
Oh, really?
Okay. I don't understand that at all.
So back in '99, I think it was, some friends of ours were driving to Vegas and said, "Hey, do you want to come?" We decided to ride with him. And while he was driving, he insisted that we listen to wherever he was in the Dark Tower series, the audiobook. I don't know where, like middle of the book. And we're like, this sucks. We have to listen to the middle of the book. We can't talk while he's driving. And or was it Dark Tower? I could have sworn it was Dark Tower. And but it was one that was read, I think, by Stephen King. There was a version out there where Stephen King read it.
Book 3 for sure used to have him. I can't remember if others did, but he definitely
so
did.
Maybe
3.
it was book 3, and it was just like the most miserable 6 hours of that drive, or 3 hours of that drive, having to listen to that.
People in the chat are saying skip 1. No, don't skip 1.
No, I completely agree with Nicole. Do not skip it. Gunslinger's freaking fantastic.
You got to know the relationship between the boy and the gunslinger.
Yeah, I can't speak to the audio stuff because I don't do audiobooks. They make me fall asleep, but when I read, I don't. And if you're just reading, there's nothing wrong with the Gunslinger. It's fantastic, and it's short. So if you don't like it,
it's quick. All my audiobook reading in the car.
Right on.
Long drive. I mean, in the Midwest, you drive everywhere, so that's how I did Fairy Tale, which, holy crap, highly recommend that one. That's Stephen King's in that one too.
You know, I'm going to say something a little weird. I don't mean this to sound weird, but I just thought of this while we're describing all of this. The character Holly Gibney, played wonderfully in this show by Cynthia Erivo. She's so good. You know who she reminded me of when I met her was Rainbow Bright in Vegas. They are so similar in just kind of personality. You'd have to see it to know what I'm saying. Anyone who's met Rainbow Bright, but you guys have, I don't know. There's something about these two. Can't separate them now. So that's all I'm going to see. Anyway, yeah, you didn't mention Ben Mendelsohn or Bill Camp or any of these other amazing actors. Patty Considine's in this, or Considine.
Show.
Yeah, it's so good. Recommend it highly. I watched it twice, and it's still on Max, I believe. Yeah. Oh, I loved it. I haven't even read this. I haven't even read this particular book, but I love that. Love the show.
I started to read Holly, the book, Audible version, but it got too intense, so I had to turn it off.
Wow.
If you haven't read much new Stephen King in the last 20 years, the books to read for this are Mr. Mercedes, Finders Keepers, and End of Watch.
Yeah,
they're good books. They really build out these characters. Highly recommend.
Mr. Mercedes is awesome. That whole 3-book arc is so good. Oh.
I've never read Mr. Mercedes.
Highly recommend it.
Is it really more that detective weirdness?
It is. It's a detective thing. Okay. It's way less. It's more pure detective stuff than it is anything supernatural, but it's got its connections.
It makes me sad the people that discount Stephen King because they can only think of like Cujo or Pet Sematary.
He's fine.
I mean, for those of us who get hooked on an author and then read a lot, he's got too many books. Yeah. And by the 20th one, you will have hit some stinkers, you know?
Yeah, they're not all amazing, but the good stuff is
for me.
The good stuff is
Chuck Palahniuk for me too. Yeah, some great books, and then some all right, might be done with this one.
Yeah.
What would you consider a stinker for Stephen King, Randy?
Rose Madder. I hated that book.
Yeah, hold on.
No, I love Rose Madder.
I hated Rose Madder. Didn't like it.
Oh, I loved it.
A lot of people don't like Insomniac, but I love that one. I love Insomniac.
I love them all.
Book.
BioCow, the dome is great. You're insane. The dome is awesome. You guys are crazy.
The TV show was rough, BioCow, but apparently the book's supposed to be really good.
The book is awesome. The TV show was too shiny. It was too much of a network show. They didn't know what they were doing. But the dome is great, man. Or is it Under the Dome? It is Under the Dome.
I just feel like he has this overarching world that we're all just trying to piece together through all these books. So
I can think of two books that I didn't finish by Stephen King because I just wasn't connecting with it. One was Cell, and the other was The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon.
Cell is very throwaway, but I really enjoyed it. It was a big crunchy zombie novel, and I realize that it's not. I'm never going to put this on top tier King, but I think Cell's a good time. If you just are looking for blow through it, have a good zombie time, you'll have a good time. It's all right.
The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, I read in a single sitting when I was stuck in an airport for 12 hours.
Yeah.
Waiting on standby the entire day, and I devoured that book.
12 hours in a hotel, or in a
not a hotel,
airport.
In the airport
That
for 12.
sucks.
It was in Richmond, Virginia. I was stuck.
That's horrendous.
Yeah.
That sounds really bad. No offense to Richmond, Virginia. I'm sure you guys are lovely people, but I don't want to be in your airport for 12 hours. All right. All right. Well, let's move on down the line here to Randy. Randy, you got a clip? You got an explanation for your clip?
Yeah, let's come back to Apple TV, please.
All right.
This is a British comedy that started a few years ago. I gave you a clip from the very first scene in the very first episode, and it is a married couple on a bus.
All right, here we go.
I'm so tired. It's 10:35 and I'm tired. Why did it say Thursday? Jason, why does my phone say it's Thursday?
I mean, it's Thursday.
No, I thought it was Wednesday.
Well, it's not. No.
Oh, shit.
Thursday. What?
Well, I ovulated on Wednesday.
Shit.
That was the window. Monday to Wednesday was the window. The window is shutting, Jason.
Well, how quickly?
Quickly? Why didn't you tell me it was Thursday?
Well, if I kept telling you what day of the week it was, I'd just assume you know days.
I'm less fertile now. I can totally feel it.
Look, a couple of minutes isn't going to make a difference, is
We
it?
are miles away from home, and every hour the chances go down. Like a lot.
For everyone's security, please inform the driver of anything suspicious.
What are you doing?
We're doing it now.
We can't.
No one's watching.
This is Trying. Trying is a comedy, as you can hear. It centers almost exclusively on this married couple, played by Esther Smith and Rafe Spall, who are a real life married couple. However, they did not meet and get married until after the first season of this show. Rafe Spall and Esther Smith have incredible chemistry. The show was created by a fellow named Andy Walton, and it now just released their 4th season. These are quick seasons. These are like 8-episode seasons. There's a total of 31 episodes now, but I'm just asking you to watch the first season because it's a legend.
It is so good. Yeah. I thought I might have recommended this myself. I went back. I couldn't find it, but my God, this show is so sweet and delightful. It's the two characters, you fall in love with them as they fall in love with each other. It's so good.
I thought this guy's name looked familiar. He wrote Life of Pi, the Rafe Spall guy. That's crazy because he's also in like Hot Fuzz and a bunch of British stuff, and The Big Short he was in, but he wrote Life of Pi. Like that's just
really
nuts to me. Anyway, the one with the big CGI tiger, everybody in the chat, if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Everyone involved in this show really gets comedy, including, and this is really, really weird, Imelda Staunton is in the first 2 seasons of this show. She's like a social worker who's trying to help them through, it's called Trying because they're trying to have a kid. And Imelda Staunton, like we're talking about the Queen from The Crown, and we're talking about like one of the greatest, if not the greatest movie villains of all time in freaking Umbridge from the Harry Potter movies. She has no business being here. She's so fun. It's such a different side of her than you've ever seen. It's just wonderful.
All right. I don't know why this is so new to me. I hadn't even heard of this. It's a BBC thing, I assume. It's sort of imported over here. Who'd you say had it? Who's the
Apple TV Plus?
Oh, that's an original? Okay.
I think it's an original.
Damn.
Yeah, Imelda Staunton's great in this. I mean, again, yeah, couldn't be more diametrically opposed to Umbridge.
Right? And it's just like, this is filling a gap in my viewing of comedy that was created by Fleabag. Fleabag came along, and I didn't know I needed something Fleabag-like at all times in my life. Of course, you can just rewatch Fleabag, but there's only so many times, right? You have to find other stuff. This is perfectly in that space. It's like if Fleabag wasn't a weird single woman and Fleabag was a married couple. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? This is crazy. The guy that directed all these episodes and wrote this whole thing and created it,
Andy Walton.
Andy Walton, his first gig of any kind, writing or otherwise, was he wrote an episode of The Amazing World of Gumball, the Cartoon Network show.
You can tell when you watch this, and you should watch at least a little bit of Trying to find out if you like it.
I think that's great, though. You go from that to like a few other gigs, and then bam, you got your own series, 31 episodes. It's like massive. That's awesome.
There is connective tissue here, and it's among a lot of shows that have this real heart.
Yeah,
and that's what I was looking for. So I'm really, really glad. Like, I really hadn't heard of this show until a couple of months ago. The 4th season's coming out, and they started advertising it really hard. At least I was getting ads on like YouTube for this show, and the ads were touting the critical reception. It's like, look at this show is like one of the highest rated shows on Apple TV. Like, you've never heard of it? I'm like, yeah, I've never heard of it. I need to watch this.
Wow. And sure enough, sorry, chat just turned me on to this. Rafe Spall, your actor again, is son of Timothy Spall, the guy that played the Harry Potter rat dude, or the mouse guy, whatever it was. I can't remember his name. Hold on.
Oh, Peter
Pettigrew, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
Timothy Spall. Yeah, it's the guy I'm thinking of. He was, let's see, he was in Sweeney Todd, played Beetle in that. That guy's awesome, but also really weird looking. This is a handsome young man, this guy, the new guy, the son. You
will love these two main characters. Like I say, now there's no wonder why they got married, like in real life. They have chemistry that goes on forever.
They really do. Yeah.
That's great.
And did you already say, Scott, you mentioned Life of Pi. Did you already correct that he played the writer in the movie?
Oh, is that why it says writer?
He didn't write the book. He played the writer, like the writer that's recounting the story in Life of Pi.
Oh, my bad then. I realize now my mistake. It says it says
writer. It's on IMDb. It says writer, Life of Pi.
So that's the character, writer. The writer.
The role is writer. Yeah.
Oh shit.
We just started listening to Life of Pi on Audible. Mateo and I.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, because it was based on a book, so I don't know why he would.
By Ang Lee. No, not Ang Lee. Ang Lee directed the film. Jan Martel wrote the book.
Yes, I believe that is. Yeah, Jan Martel, and then David McGee did the screenplay. Well, anyway, fantastic. I want to see this thing. Randy, sounds awesome.
You should watch Trying. And Nicole, that I think Life of Pi, the audiobook, is read by, I'm forgetting his name, but I'm wondering if you're loving the reader, the actor.
We're enjoying it so far.
Jeff Woodman. Jeff Woodman
he hasn't complained yet.
Awesome.
So
no complaints yet. That's good. No complaints is no complaints.
It's a deep. It's a deep story. So and there's like a big author's note in the front of the book, which I think really captured them.
Nice.
I decided to check out the Dune audiobook, the newer one. The newer one is read by Simon Vance and like 17 other people.
Oh, wow.
And it's so good. Simon Vance is perfect for this 950-page mammoth. Like,
how long
I highly
is
recommend
it?
this thing.
It's huge, dude.
24 hours, I want to say.
Yeah,
it's big.
Sounds
That does not
right.
surprise me. All right, here is mine. This is a Netflix show, so sorry, Apple TV, we're veering away from you for a moment. And we're going to talk about a little thing you got going on. And boy, was I pleasantly surprised by this. I'll say before I play the clip, this is the same people who made it, but this is based on a film of the same name, and they made a series out of it. And I finally watched it, And I loved it. Here is the clip.
Permit me to introduce you to Princess Roseanne. Hello, Rosie.
Eddie?
Rosie, Eddie, Your Grace, Your Highness.
We used to spend summers at Horsted Manor when I was a little girl.
Long time ago. I should have known. A small world it is. Princess Roseanne is a direct descendant of King Leopold III. She's 11th in line to the Belgian throne. Last time I heard it was 12. Who did we lose, Rosie?
Daddy fell off his horse. Don't say you're sorry, Eddie. I know you never liked him.
He had his merits. Principal one being you.
All right. I picked a very hoity-toity scene to record.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
Because otherwise the show is pretty violent, pretty crazy, edited like nuts. It is The Gentleman on Netflix. It is a, how many episodes does this thing get? 8, looks like. 8 total episodes. I hope there's more coming. They leave it in a way that seems like they should. It did well for them. It reviewed really well, so I think it's coming back. But this is The Gentleman, originally created by Guy Ritchie. He directed the film and a bunch of these episodes and helped co-write it with Theo James and some others. Or not Theo James. Can't remember the other writer. But anyway, Theo
Matthew
James.
Reed.
Yeah, that's correct. And Theo James is your main actor. He plays Eddie Horniman. Your other main characters are this Kaya Scoldario. I'm not sure I'm saying her name right. She plays Susie Glass. The Glass family in general is pretty crazy. And you get a couple of like Guy Ritchie regulars in here. So Vinnie Jones shows up as a character named Jeff, who is like the groundskeeper of this castle. If you don't know who Vinnie Jones is, look him up. You'll know him immediately from like all the old Ritchie movies. The guy's awesome. Also, Ray Winstone's in this. I could watch that guy read a phone book. I freaking love him. And you heard in the clip there the voice of Giancarlo Esposito. It's a smaller role, and he's in everything these days. I know, like just turn on some show and there's freaking Gus Fring hanging out. It's just what he does.
Great agent, that guy.
He really does. Either that or just take whatever. I don't know, but one way or the other, that guy is awesome, and he's great in this. Plays a character named Stanley Johnston. It's a relatively small role, but an important one, and it is so freaking good. And I love The Gentleman, the movie. I was already a fan. I think I recommended this a couple of years ago. 2019 it came out. Probably saw it in 2021 or something. This came out this year and is all out in full. Netflix, of course, they just put it all out. And it is, so here's who will want to watch this. If you like British gangster films of any kind, you're going to like this. If you like previous Guy Ritchie movies, especially his British gangster films, then you'll love this. But there's also a third thing, which is people who like to get a mystery that is constantly swerving around itself, meaning it's like you think you've got it figured out this episode, and the next one something will be introduced, and you question everything you thought about the previous one. The movie was like that too. The movie was all about, kind of an overarching mystery, but the mystery is just packed with, drug deals and underworld crime in Britain and trying to save, fancy people's names from being drugged through the dirt while doing some real dirt.
That's a good way of putting it.
There's a character in here called Blanket, played by Logan Dean. He's a very small character, but I should say small role. He's a gigantic character, but he's really fun to watch. And there's a character named Jimmy Chang, played by Michael Vu, who is unforgettable in his weird little role. I loved every second of it. I binged it so hard I could barely breathe when I was done. And if you don't like violence and you don't like swearing and you don't like that sort of thing, maybe pass this one, because it's all those things. It's a Guy Ritchie product after all.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with Guy Ritchie's level of violence, then this would be a
yeah. This is a lot more. This is not his
fire for you.
This is definitely not his Sherlock Holmes or his Aladdin remake or live action remake. This is definitely more his Lock, Stock, Smoking Barrels business. His that era of stuff for him. And it's rad. So check it out. Available now. All episodes. The Gentleman on
Question
Netflix.
for you.
Yeah.
Just want to ask the panel, is Giancarlo Esposito overexposed at this point?
A little bit. Just a tiny
Really?
bit. Yeah.
It just feels like he's in everything. It's just like
my problem is he's kind of the same guy in everything is my only problem. Like I would love a little more diversity. And the thing is, I think Brian saw something you talked about last week again. The one where you could watch it in any order. I think that's probably yeah. He's probably very different in that. But the guy he is in The Boys is the guy he is here, kind of. Like he's just sort of, I don't know. He's a guy in a suit,
the financier kind of thing.
Yeah, and he
right?
shows up. His nose is a little high. His suit is perfectly made. He's always up to no good. Like it's just kind of always that guy, and it's fine.
I would have said, 10 years ago maybe, or 5 years ago, or whatever it was, when he was just cast on Once Upon a Time. He was still, I think, guest starring on Breaking Bad. He had a couple other things, but lately I feel like he's that his exposure has waned.
Okay.
But maybe not. Maybe you guys are seeing more stuff right now than I am.
It's because time is compressed. Like I feel like he was just in The Mandalorian, and it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, he had. If you stop at Harley Quinn, in 2024, he has had 5 major roles, television and film. He's got one. He's got 7 stuff in the cooker, including Maxine, which I think just opened this week. He's in Captain America: Brave New World coming up. He's in a bunch of stuff. He's just it's nothing wrong with it. He's busy.
Yeah. He must not be in things I'm seeing, I guess is what I'm saying. Cause I don't feel like I'm getting overexposed to him, but like you said, you're watching these things apparently that he's in this year that I'm missing. So
yeah. Well, highly recommend this one. It's fantastic. And he's not even the main dude. So it's not really overexposure. It's just more exposure, I suppose.
All right.
The one character you might drive everybody nuts is the brother who play the character Freddy, played by Daniel Ings. Man, you want to kick his ass. Just every time you see him, you just want to beat him up and throw him out the car. Just so, and that's, I guess, to his credit, he's playing the role really well. But boy, freaking Freddy. Just want to stop Freddy. This show should be called Stop Freddy. That's what it should be called. Because every piece of trouble everyone gets into, it's freaking Freddy's fault. I swear. Anyway.
Another actor who was in a memorable episode of Black Mirror, that was Smithereens. He was in that one.
Well, there you go. Yeah, these guys are all, I don't know, I feel like they're, he'd be a great James Bond, Theo James. That guy'd be great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And this show is very good at his potential Bondness. You can just feel it. I don't think it'll happen. I mean, they already chose somebody, right? I think, but
I don't know if they have. Nobody's been announced yet.
I thought they picked the kick-ass kid. No? Didn't that happen?
Did they?
I didn't read that.
He's older now, and he's like British and big and buff, and I can't remember what the deal was. New Bond. I thought I thought there was something, but maybe. Oh, here it is.
The offer to portray Bond has been extended to Taylor Johnson, but I don't think.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, new James Bond. Here's everything we know, says Variety, but I don't know what that means.
Yeah, don't know if he's accepted it or what the deal is. Production's eagerly awaiting his response to kickstart production on a new film. Or Eon Productions is eagerly awaiting his response.
He's a good-looking dude.
Yeah.
He could play Bond. He's rugged, He's got the look. But yeah, if that fell apart for any reason, call Theo James. That guy would fit right in.
And if you need more Theo James, watch the 2nd season of The White Lotus. That's him.
Oh, gotcha. That's where I saw him. That's right. Good pick.
Yeah, because I haven't watched any of the Divergent stuff that he was in, so I was trying to think of what I've seen him in. So I'm sure that's it.
I want to sack the Divergent series, like the first 3 movies.
Let's do it. Are there more than 3? Is that all? Did they keep going?
The first 3? How many? Yeah, exactly.
I thought
it feels like there's like 5 or 6. I don't know.
This looks like there. Oh no, you're right. There are more, but I think they changed. I don't know. It's kind of like the upcoming Hunger Games prequel. I think they did stuff like that.
I'm always about the first 3 too. Like for our purposes, right? Like I would watch the first 3 Hunger Games with you. I'd watch the first 3 Maze Runners with you. There might only be 3 Maze Runners for all I know. I'm just saying that's what I would do.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of these, so I'd be down. Let's do it.
Sure.
Well, there you go. That and all other things that we talked about today will be up on quicktms.li. They're already there. So if you went there and you click those links, you'd be off to the races, as it were. Nicole, is there any way for people to support this this thing you guys are doing? This what am I trying to say? This charity?
Purple Heart Project.
Yeah.
If you just look up Purple Heart Project, you'll be able to find kind of the story and how to donate directly to it. Sorry, Mark's recording a video and he heard me talking.
Mark, Nicole, he'd yell.
Yeah.
Here it is. Purple Heart Project.
The purpleheartproject.org. It is a true 501c nonprofit, and all the money that they raise goes to support combat wounded veterans. So we plan on doing a live event Saturday night. So if you happen to be on YouTube, 7 p.m. Central, we're going to be raising some money online as well for the charity.
Awesome. Very cool. Go check it out, you guys. Once again, that is thepurpleheartproject.org. And check out the Wood Whisperer in general. Hey, Randy, what's Film Sack this weekend? What are we doing?
Oh, we're talking about soundtrack movies this weekend. We have a roundtable episode for everyone.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that. We already recorded it, so I suppose we already looked forward to it.
Yeah, but it's just such a fun subject. I love this subject. Like we could have talked about this for 2.5 hours.
Yep. And
sure.
And
everybody's got their favorites too.
Yeah, it's really good. You guys will enjoy it. So check that out. That'll be on Sunday. That goes as live and will be available on all the usual feeds. Thank you both so much.
I want to say to people who listen to Film Sack, if you haven't watched Repo Man, watch it. It's going to drop off of streaming in a few days. Watch Repo Man as soon as possible.
3 or 4 days. I seriously thought you were going to hang up on yourself halfway through that, Randy, but good job.
No, he's hanging in there. Also, I think that movie is really weird and should be seen at least once by everybody. One time.
It is. It's just amazing that more people haven't seen it. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye now. I'm not kind. People are cutting themselves off. I ain't doing it.
I know. No, I was just. Randy began that like he usually says. Oh yes, and I want to make sure I see.
Yeah, it did feel like we were going down that path, but he surprised us all. Thanks, Randy. You're like Santa Claus on a Sunday morning.
He did.
That's it for today. Why do I have Dan up? Oh, because I clicked tabs. We're done. That's the show. And here's the thing. Here's the great thing about this show. If you missed a bunch of episodes, you're like, man, I'm behind or whatever. It's all there for you. Just go to frogpants.com/TMS. You can request songs there. You can find all the links that are important, our Patreon, everything. It's all right there. frogpants.com/TMS. The only thing you'll be missing is the song Brian's about to play, and then you won't be missing it. So Brian, play it.
You won't miss it at all. Yeah, Dr. Tolbert wrote in. We love Jerry. On June 27th, that's tomorrow, I will be celebrating my penultimate birthday before what many consider middle age, the mythical 44.
Whoa.
Though my musical tastes are wide-reaching, our recent conversation with Dan about perfect albums had me re-listening to the entirety of Houses of the Holy, which includes one of my favorite Led Zeppelin songs. I also listened to Dark Side of the Moon and The Wall, so I've been in a very classic rock mood lately. No, we've never met in person. We've absolutely had multiple conversations that make me feel like I've known you guys my whole life, and I'm proud to call you guys my friends. Keep up the great work building amazing community, and know that I will be available to respond whenever I am paged. Han the Solo, Jerry.
All right, Jerry. Sorry, dude.
Happy birthday.
That's just where we're at. Okay.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Your favorite song from House of the Holy is Over the Hills and Far Away. How about a version that Gretchen Wilson released back in 2013? Boy, you want to talk about amazing rock and roll voices. Gretchen Wilson is right up there. The album was called Under the Covers, but I'm not going to falter for that. Came out in 2013, includes this cover of Led Zeppelin's Over the Hills and Far Away.
See you guys tomorrow.
And I guarantee
Whoop, wrong button.
This show is part of the Frog Pants Network. Yes. Get more at frogpants.com.
And I guarantee I'm going to pee on your head.
Oh. All right.